Hello! Ladies and gentlemen, international break is not that far away, so I figured to give you all my World Cup qualifier predictions for UEFA match days 3 and 4. Now that the Nations League quarterfinals have ended, all the groups are officially confirmed, and also some more countries will be playing in their first ever World Cup qualifier matches. We have a lot to go over though. In this video, we also have to predict the match that is supposed to be banned by FIFA, but is not. Before we get into it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and as always, let me know your predictions in the comments below. Also, make sure to check out my last video where I ranked every single country to never qualify for the World Cup. Link in the description. Anyway, of course, let's begin with match day 3. First match we're going over, Wales versus Liechtenstein. Wales are so far undefeated in their World Cup qualifier campaign, but they did pick up a draw to North Macedonia. Saving themselves, to be fair, after conceding a stoppage time goal, they scored one themselves. Liechtenstein, meanwhile, are at last place with 2-for-2 losses and are the only national team in history to lose to San Marino. I bring it up a lot, but it's not a good thing to have on the resume. Anyway, there is a clear favorite in this, especially with Wales being at home. They already have an incredible home record. I'm saying they win this one 4-0. Moving on now to North Macedonia versus Belgium. Belgium will be embarking on their first ever match in the World Cup qualifiers. Things at first look to be all over the place with their new manager Rudi Garcia, who lost heavily to Ukraine in the first leg of the Nations League playoffs, but they did come back miraculously, winning the second leg 3-0, 4-3 on aggregate. Anyway, in my opinion, Rudi Garcia is not necessarily the answer for Belgium to excel, but I still think they should feel comfortable in this qualifier campaign. Their defense at the moment is definitely questionable, but with them getting Courtois back, that is definitely a massive boost. Belgium sit low in the table, obviously, since they have not played a match yet, and Macedonia in recent times have proven that they are not pushovers whatsoever, topping their Nations League group and going head-to-head with Wales at their own home ground. If they're able to overcome Belgium here, they can actually go undefeated in an entire calendar year, as their last loss was to Czechia right before the Euros in a friendly in June. 8 matches undefeated, but now they have a very tough task on their hands. Many people are definitely going to sway towards Belgium at the moment, and rightfully so, but I would definitely not underestimate Macedonia in World Cup qualifier campaigns. As we've seen in the 2022 tournament, they defeated Germany and Italy. Could they give Belgium a scare? I'm going to say it's close, but not possible. Belgium win this match 2-1 away. Moving on now to Gibraltar versus Croatia. Hrvatska definitely have an exciting window ahead. Definitely a lot of uncertainty in the national team right now. Luka Modric has just confirmed that he is leaving Real Madrid, so his future is unknown as he expressed his desire to retire at Real Madrid. So will he actually, or will he play for another club, continue to play for the national team, and guide his nation to one more World Cup? Regardless, he did get announced for the squad coming up this international break. It's just a matter of how many more matches down the line he'll play in. He's obviously one of the biggest talking points for Croatia, but there's still a few more. Luka Vučković, the upcoming young defender, has finally been announced in the senior squad. 100% deserves the call-up. He was tearing it up in Belgium this season, and he will be looking to return to Tottenham next season, hoping to get some game time. Such a quality defender, and Croatia's back line is actually looking quite dangerous. I'm very interested to see how he's implemented in the squad. The young talent in the back line and the aging midfield and attack can definitely still thrive. Ivan Perisic is still winning trophies at his age as well. Despite random concerns for the national team's next generation, they are still pulling through at the moment. They only just lost to France in the Nations League quarterfinals over both legs, defeating them in the first leg as well, and missing out on the semifinals due to a penalty shootout. If they lose to Gibraltar, that would be absolutely embarrassing. This side have not won a single qualifier match in their entire history. Croatia should be getting a comfortable away win. I'm going to go bold and say they win 5-0. Moving on to Estonia versus Israel. These sides have actually already faced each other back in March in the same World Cup qualifier campaign, where Israel won 2-1. They absolutely dominated the stats, but obviously Estonia kept it close. Estonia after that bounced back, getting a 3-2 victory against Moldova, while Israel's next match they got annihilated by Norway, conceding 4 goals. It will be interesting to see how they can cope with traveling to Estonia. I do think they'll push through for another victory though. I'm saying it finishes once again 2-1 for Israel. Now this match is massive. Norway versus Italy, the two favorites in Group I. So much pressure on both these national teams to perform. I think this is one of the greatest matchups in this World Cup qualification campaign. Italy haven't qualified for the last 2 World Cups, as we all know, so not doing so for a third time would be absolutely inexcusable. It was already inexcusable the other 2 campaigns. 3 times in a row is unthinkable for this nation. While Norway, despite having all of this incredible talent to their disposal, have not qualified for a major international tournament since 2000. They had a flying start to this World Cup qualifier campaign though, top of their group at the moment, 2-for-2 wins, scoring 9 goals in 2 matches, 5-0 to Moldova and 4-2 to Israel like I said earlier. What a run of form they're in now, but they're gonna have a tough task next. A very hungry Italy to finally perform at a World Cup qualification campaign. Spalletti had a poor Euro 2024 campaign without a doubt, but in the Nations League, he went toe-to-toe with some of the top national teams in the group stage, and then against Germany, he looked to be embarrassed at first, but had a very interesting comeback in that second leg. After being 3-0 down at halftime, he actually came back to draw the match. Something Norway are not going to be happy to see, though, is their head-to-head record against the Azzurri over the years. They've only beaten them 3 times, and all those 3 times were friendlies. Norway have had such a fantastic start, like I said. Can they keep it going? I'm going to say that they still remain undefeated, but this one finishes in a draw. High scoring affair, 2-2. Many exciting Italian players, and in the attack specifically, a lot are finding their form as of recent. I could see them struggling in this match in specific though, but then later down the line, they do push through against Norway head to head. But when they travel away, they might not be able to secure 3 points. Czechia versus Montenegro next. Both these nations are top of their group with 2-for-2 wins. And this will be a crucial fixture for either of them to really solidify their dominance, as Croatia has now entered the stage and could definitely catch up. It's interesting though, as both these sides played the same exact opponents in the last international break, and both sets of matches had similar events occurring. Narrow victory to Faroe Islands and a more dominant display against Gibraltar. Montenegro can definitely squeeze through for a victory here though, with Jovetic still pulling the strings for the national team, to Krstovic having an exponential rise this season, while Czechia are definitely under some pressure as they underperformed in the last Euro tournament under Ivan Hasek, and with Patrick Schick fit, it's definitely a massive boost for the national team, as he's come in clutch so many times for them. He also just surpassed Ballon d'Or winner Nedved in goals scored for the national team, and has had a very solid goal scoring record this season for Bayer Leverkusen. I'm definitely rooting for Crnogora to push through in this, but I do think the favorites on paper will get the victory here. It'll be narrow though, a 2-1 victory for Czechia. Now moving on to Bosnia versus San Marino. San Marino, the worst ranked national team in the world. Anytime they face a team, the whole world is against their opposition. It would truly be a great underdog story for them to secure at least one more win in this World Cup qualification campaign, but I cannot see it against Bosnia. They have had an exceptional start, 2-for-2 wins, barely doing it against Cyprus, but also defeated Romania away, which is definitely a massive 3 points, considering how confident Romanians were to top this group. I think an aging Dzeko can still thrive in a matchup like this, Demirovic as well. I think Bosnia have what it takes to get a 3-1 victory. I do for some reason see them slipping 1 goal to the mighty San Marino, but still, they'll pick up the 3 points at the end. Moving on now to Malta versus Lithuania. Malta, the only team to get 2-for-2 losses. Lithuania did not get a win yet either, but they picked up a draw against Finland. Definitely some underrated ballers on this nation. But unfortunately, their forward Armandas Kuchis will be out injured until November, which is a huge blow as he has been tearing it up for Telia in the Conference League this season. Malta also shouldn't be slept on, although they're a massive minnow in UEFA. They still randomly pull off some insane score lines. I'm going to say it finishes in a 2-2 draw. Moving on to Andorra versus England. This has to be one of the most one-sided matches we are looking at in this video. Tuchel is still definitely experimenting some new things with the 3 lines, but they are still grabbing clean sheets and a solid amount of goals in their matches. 2-0 against Albania, 3-0 against Latvia. I think it's going to be 5-0 against Andorra. This one will be tough though. Austria versus Romania. Austria under Ralf Rangnick seemed like a perfect match in heaven after they topped their difficult Euro group, but they did get knocked out to third gear too early for their standards. And since then have bottled quite a few opportunities in the Nations League. They looked to run away with first until they bottled that. Norway topped the group instead, and then in the Nations League playoffs they lost to Serbia head to head. Romania, like I mentioned earlier though, definitely had some short points in the last campaign, losing to Bosnia in their own home ground. They did have a good amount of injuries though, and still do. Dragushin is still not available. Austria, despite their shortcomings, to me still have one of the most underrated midfield units. If Arnautovic is playing, as long as he doesn't bottle opportunities like he did against Lazio, I think Austria have what it takes to win this one, but narrowly. I'm going to say it finishes 2-1. Now moving on to Finland versus the Netherlands. The Netherlands put off such an exciting fight against Spain in the Nations League quarterfinals. They were just shortly done as well on penalties like Croatia. And they put off a wonderful fight against what many regard as the best national teams in the world at the moment. As long as Van Dijk doesn't have a 2-week long hangover after Liverpool's title win, I do think that the Netherlands will win 3-0 here. Finland are definitely not at their best right now. Definitely a transitional period after their manager Kanerva got sacked. Maybe Poland can put off a good fight, but I think the Netherlands should easily top this group. Now moving on to that match. That match that FIFA decided to not ban after all that catastrophe from the Euro 2016 qualifiers. Albania versus Serbia. If you want more details as to why this match should be banned, I made a video about it quite a while ago. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. For those of you that don't know, those events in Belgrade resulted in a 3-point deduction from Serbia and for the match to be awarded a 3-0 victory for Albania. So hopefully no events will occur where we'll have to see such punishments again, as I just want to see a clean World Cup qualifier campaign where both these teams put off an incredible fight and none of the fans jeopardize their team's chances to qualify for the World Cup. But not only is there a fierce rivalry between these two nations, there is so much on the line for this match in particular. Let's face the facts, England are getting that first place spot, but second place is definitely up in the air for either of these two nations. Albania have never qualified for a World Cup before, but are definitely looking to make some decent progress. While Serbia on the surface look to have a better team on paper, their national team is not in the most stable situation right now. Their manager, Dragan Stojkovic, an incredible player, unfortunately has somewhat lost his spark as their national team manager. Yes, he does have some random solid moments like defeating Austria in the Nations League playoffs. They also were able to finally defeat Switzerland in the Nations League. But their World Cup 2022 performances was a disgrace, and also at Euro 2024, they were 4th place in their group, only scoring 1 goal as well against Slovenia in stoppage time. I feel like the morale has still not necessarily boosted up since the Euros, despite those small victories in the Nations League. Milinkovic-Savic, one of their best players, does not want to still return to the national team. He decided to withdraw after all the criticism from the Euros. Dusan Tadic retired internationally indefinitely as long as Pixie is in charge. So despite the slight bounce back, it's still overall not a good look. And what's an even worse look is, I hate to say it because I really like to see Serbia do well, they do let the emotions get the best of them. Take the World Cup 2022 match for example. Their anger and frustration stopped them from being able to come back against the Swiss. Fighting at the end of the match, targeting the ethnic Albanian players. They basically built a rivalry with Switzerland just because of those ethnic Albanian players, Xhaka and Shaqiri. So will they truly be composed traveling all the way to Albania and having one of the most hostile atmospheres they'll probably experience? You also know Albania is going to play their heart out in a fixture like this, and their football is definitely improving under Slovenia. Anything can happen in this one. At the end, I did predict Serbia to get that playoff spot, but I would not be surprised if Albania do get 3 points at their own home ground. I think it will either finish in a draw or an Albania victory. I'm going to say it finishes 1-1 though. I honestly wish both national teams the best of luck. That's the end of match day 3 though. Let's move on to match day 4, starting out with Kazakhstan versus North Macedonia. Kazakhstan, what a beautiful story they told in the Euro 2024 qualifier campaign. They might be able to pull off a result here, but I do think Macedonia are in too good a form right now. I don't think they'll let their spirit down even if they lose to Belgium. I'm saying North Macedonia get a decent win here. It finishes 3-1. Italy versus Moldova. Moldova, just like Kazakhstan, told a really fascinating tale at the Euro 2024 qualifier campaign, upsetting the likes of Poland. But they've been getting exposed as of late, and I think Italy can get the best of them. I'm saying they win 5-0. Estonia versus Norway. Like I mentioned, Norway have been scoring loads and loads of goals in each of their matches. Estonia sometimes keep it cagey though, especially when they are not the favorites on paper. But I still think Norway have what it takes to score at least 3 goals. I'm saying it finishes 3-1. Now this match I'm very nervous about, Croatia versus Czechia. Although Croatia do have the home field advantage on this one, the national team love to give their fans a heartache in qualification campaigns. Yes, most of the time they are successful, but too many times it's left in the dying match days. Czechia without a doubt have what it takes to frustrate Croatia here. If not this match day, I'm definitely also nervous for the next time they face. One thing though that's reassuring is that throughout history, Croatia has never lost to Czechia. They only played each other 4 times though, and the last 2 times they faced one another, it finished in a draw. Both them being in different Euro championships. So yeah, obviously throughout more recent times, Czechia still caused Croatia a headache. And I would not be surprised whatsoever if I eat my words here, but I do think Croatia can still pull off a 2-1 victory. Belgium versus Wales. Although Belgium are the favorites in their group without a doubt, they actually do have a difficult international break, as these are the 2 tougher teams in their group, Macedonia and Wales. In fact, Belgium's head-to-head record with Wales is actually quite even, with them just having the slightest of advantages. I'll never forget Euro 2016 though, when Wales did upset this side. A favorite on paper, but still I think the possibilities are endless in this one. I am still going to favor Belgium though. As long as they don't start Wout Faes, I think they can win this one 3-1. The Faroe Islands versus Gibraltar. Like I already showed, the The Faroe Islands put off some really close fights against Montenegro and Czechia, still just falling short. I think this is their perfect opportunity to take 3 points though. I'm saying they beat Gibraltar 2-0. Finland versus Poland. Poland, despite getting the results in the last international break, I definitely still feel are not the most convincing. They just scraped through against Lithuania. But like I said, Finland could not even defeat this side. This is a crucial match for Finland though if they want to have any chance in the future. But I do think Poland will be victorious here. It's going to be a very slow match, I reckon. But a 1-0 victory for Polska will be the final score. Moving on out to San Marino versus Austria. Sorry, San Marino. Like I said, it's always the world against the team you're facing. But yeah, you're going to probably get cooked in this one, unfortunately. 4-0 for Austria. Moving on to the Netherlands versus Malta. Again, I'd see another one-sided matchup happening here. I think the Netherlands have what it takes to get a 3-0 victory once again against their opposition in this international break. My opinion on Koeman has not changed, by the way. I still don't think he's the best fit for the national team, but he definitely should take care of this qualifier group. Serbia versus Andorra. No matter what happens in the Albania match, even if they're heartbroken from that, Serbia should definitely take care of business here. Home side as well. They might have some wasted opportunities, but I still think they'll win 2-0 or 3-0. I'll go for 3-0. Romania versus Cyprus next. These guys were in the same Nations League group not that long ago, and Romania definitely took care of business twice against them. 7 goals scored, 1 conceded. I'm actually going to go for the same exact scoreline as the last time they faced. Romania win 4-1. And the final match we're looking at in this video, Latvia versus Albania. Albania, they do it, but don't sleep on Latvia. They definitely can shake up this group one way or another. I could see them giving Albania or Serbia a draw. This one will be extremely cagey and tough, but I do think Albania will pull off the 1-0 victory at the end. But yes, guys, those are all the matches we're going over in this video for match days 3 and 4. If you didn't hear your country mentioned, it's because you're either still in the Nations League semifinals or you're in one of those groups of 4 and you have some friendlies awaiting you in this international break. I do think in the next one, though, we'll see every single national team in UEFA play in the World Cup qualifiers. So cannot wait to see what unfolds over the next few months. Let me know your predictions, like I said, in the comments below. And thank you all so much for making it to the end of this video. Just like in the last match day predictions, I will upload a reaction video to everything I've just said. And also a lot more World Cup qualifier content is on the way, so make sure you're following the channel. Anyway, I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Laku noć.